Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to another wonderful episode of Grey and Angles. Yes, I have my G on the couch today. I don't know why I'm grinning so hard or so widely or whatever. I don't hear English. But anyway, my name is Aderinsola. In case this is the first time you're watching this show, this podcast, my name is Aderinsola, and here with me today is should I call your full name?
No, Aze is fine.
Aze, yeah. My friend Aze, I've known Aze for a minute now. His friend and his family too, right?
Yeah.
Because you're my brother's brother. Yeah, so I'm really happy to have him here. I've been trying to get him on, as he's very busy with so many things. And to get him here today, Lori Aze to was sorry show. Have you seen that thing on social media?
Oh, please, no, I haven't.
He's very serious. He's not very into social media like some of us. Some of us, we sleep on the streets. My friend would say, I saw you on the streets.
Wow.
Anyway, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for taking time, driving all the way. I appreciate you so much. And I know that you're going to do justice. There's another topic that I want me and you to talk about, but it won't just be me and you, it'll be me, you, and someone else.
Okay.
Because I've felt your view on that topic before. But anyway, before we just away. So today, I want to talk about people who you are close to and who make decisions in life, and even though you warn them or tell them about it or give them some advice, they go their own way, they do their own thing. I want to ask a question. Does it make sense to save people who do things their own way? Let me give you an example. For instance, I say to you, maybe I get $500,000, win a lottery or something. And then you say, oh, don't do this. I think you should do this and do that and do this. And I'm like, you and who? I have better decisions to make, or I want to make my own decision. I'm an adult. You can't tell me how to move. And then I make my decision and then things go south. And then you're doing well. You have like a lot of money. Maybe we both won money and then you were able to save your money, make better decisions. And obviously, this is not just a one-off. It's always been my way of life to do things my own way and then come back and be like, oopsie, how much saving should I, like, how much should you be there for? How much of being there should you do? Like, your loyalty to me as a friend or as a brother, is it enough for you to say, they messed up, they fucked up, but I'm still going to be there for her? Or a relationship, maybe I'm dating goofballs over and over again, and you're like, can't you see the red flags? I'm like, bro, I like colors. I like the red I see. Let me go. And then I go in and you're like, I come back, they've done it again. Like, should you always give me a shoulder to lean on? Life decisions, from dating to money to school, you send it to moving houses, to renting houses or buying houses. When someone just always wants to go their way, or making career decisions like, I want to chase my dreams, I don't want to do a 9 to 5, it's not for me. And then you're broke and hungry. Should I always jump in there and say, look, I know you're very stupid, you and your decisions, but because I love you, here you go 100,000, here you go 500,000. How much saving?
Dollar or naira?
Well, do not know, it depends on you. Okay. Let's call it naira to be safe. We'll give you $100,000 if I hear. How much saving? How much saving should you do? Before you're like, stop, or should you even not bother saving someone at all? Especially when they're like strong-headed. I know what I'm doing, mind your business. There are people like that. Mm-hmm. We all can be like that at times. Like, you're set in your ways. You are sure that this is the way. Should you save someone like that, or you should just let them carry their cross themselves?
I feel it should be on a case-by-case basis.
Tell me.
Because I feel like the relationship you have with the person should also factor in. I feel taking risk sometimes is good. I mean, some will say take the risk with sense or with caution. But, there are a lot of names that we could think of right now that took, a lot of risk that at the end of the day, it ended up working for them.
It ended up working or did not?
No, it ended up working for them. Okay. And even though in reality, there's a higher number of people that took a lot of risk that didn't succeed. When we see that one or two people that it worked out for, they'll be like, oh, after all,
I tap into that one.
Elon Musk did this.
But they play. Elon Musk.
No, it's true. It's true.
Right.
Because it's just like the whole thing about, buying a lottery ticket, to a point. I feel like people that do win the lottery, there's this like mindset you have to have, because if you think about it, if you didn't buy the ticket in the first place, you won't have won. So if you win the lottery and someone that doesn't even buy ticket is telling you what to do with the money, you're looking at them like,
do you know how I got here? Do you know how I got here? Do you know the risk I took?
Because in the real sense, I do have friends that tell me almost every week, I want to win lottery, I want to win lottery.
I have people like that.
Yeah, and then you ask them, are you buying ticket? They say no. And I'm like,
how are you going to?
Why are you harassing?
I know.
At that point, you're just harassing me, telling me you want to win lottery and you're not buying ticket. That's what I'm saying.
Make a move, bro.
Exactly. But we want to hold on to, that money and not buy the ticket, but still we want to win lottery. So that is just, I feel like it goes hand in hand. So I feel like it will be on a case by case basis, on an individual basis, because your relationship with that person actually defines
how you support
them and how you're able to come through for them. Because there are people that you love that you borrowed money before too, and they won't return the money.
It's gone.
Exactly. And there are people that you're not as close to that you borrowed money to, and they've always would return the money, right? So when people come and say, oh, borrow me this, or help me with this, help me with that, you're also going to factor in your mind as, okay, if I went to actually really borrow this person this money,
chances are
I might not see it again. So what are you going to do? You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to borrow you what I feel like either is not going to destroy our friendship, or I'm willing to lose that money down in my seat again. Because I've actually had a friend that told me this one day. I was like, dude, I need this to, invest in this, invest in that, or push this or push that. And he was like, this thing you're trying to do, I don't
subscribe to things like that.
He told me straight up, he's like, I don't think this stuff is going to work, but if you believe in it,
okay. Maybe he trusted your like, he's like, okay, this person has some sense. Maybe he's seeing something I'm not seeing.
I really don't know his thought process.
Or his rationale for.
Yeah. But he told me like straight up on the business, thing, like, I'm telling you, I don't see it happening. Like, even if it works, there's chances of this thing.
And you didn't feel like, this person.
Me, that was gingered.
The ginger was like, hey, let's go.
I was like, you know what, please.
So despite that person's like business expertise, you didn't feel like, let me listen to this person, because if shit goes down, I'll be on my own.
It wasn't something it was something that was in Ninja. It wasn't something I was doing in the sense of, because that whole idea of just investing in Nigeria and not being there doesn't make any sense to me. That's it's something I don't subscribe to.
Okay.
But the fact that I had somebody else that I trust
that was gonna be there, taking care of everything for you,
monitoring everything. So in my mind, I was like,
okay, I got this.
Like, this is.
Just tell me how we ended.
Of course, yeah.
Please, let's not
start. Let's not start putting old wounds. And when he came back to the whole thing about it, I think in my friend's mind, he was more like, okay, I'm going to give you money or borrow you money to do what you want to do. But the money I'm going to borrow you is money that if you don't give me back, it's not like we're going to be fighting, but
I'll feel very bad.
No, he's like, I'm going to give you the amount of money whereby if I don't get the money back, it won't
affect us. Yeah. Right.
So which is to say, I know the value of our friendship. Because based on how much you borrowed him, I'm just playing. I always tease him about that. But anyway, so he was
our friendship is $2 million. $2 million and 1 cent above is gone.
Exactly.
Right.
So he was just like, yeah, just, so at least I know if this thing goes south and you're unable to pay me back, we're going to be good, kind of thing, right?
Okay.
So for me, I feel like it was kind of like empowering in the sense whereby even though he didn't agree with what I was saying, he still had that belief that, okay, let me support you, let me support your dream.
Okay, so the friendship, the relationship, the support that he's going to give to you, regardless of whatever
his own personal thoughts or
whatever biases he might have about that. So most times when I talk, I realize that I land in a place of people who are chronic. Like, you guys have a decent relationship, I could tell. And he has a good head on his shoulders, But let's now say that one happened. Bam, it went down. You now went back to him. See, this time around, we're going to build a bridge from here to this. And he goes out, bam, again. At number 5, number 6 time when you're going to meet this guy, do you think he still owes it to you as a friend to say, look, because there are times when, how they say you fall, like in business, you fail so many times before. There are times that people can actually fail. And then when Tyler Perry, everybody, they come out to say their stories about how, do you know how many shows that nobody came? Do you know how many this? Do you know how many that?
Yeah.
And then how many businesses have tried? So we can't outrightly say that because someone is failing back to back, that condemn them. They probably haven't gotten to that destination where, it will make sense. So do you think that, because you know yourself, your friend knows you that this one, his head is correct, but this is the 7th time he's coming to ask me for, $500,000, like, should you at this point say, bro, go and look for 9 to 5, help your life, save your money, then dream anyhow. This money that you're coming to ask me for, and I'm throwing away because of our friendship and the love I have for you as a brother, this money, me too, I'm making some decisions to be able to get this money in. Why don't you jump on the train and make better decisions? Why must it be your way? Like, do you think that anybody should get to that point, or they should keep supporting you?
Well, at the same time, you don't want to be a nuisance because, I paid the money back, because it's funny when you hear stories of people that owe people money, they haven't paid them back, and then they go back to ask for more. That's a totally different,
That's what I'm saying, chronic people.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's take our minds out of the normal.
I think I remember the song now.
Yeah, let's take our minds out of the normal and not assume that everybody's like Aze and Darren. Like, you and I know of people. I remember I said I'm going to shake tables and break tables. Let's talk about you don't have to shake it again. Anyway, let's talk about the people that we know around us who have made decisions like, I'm not doing a 9 to 5 because I want to be a CEO. Like, are you obligated to be there for them? Or you should say, well, happy CEOing.
I think...
Would you be there for me if I say I don't want to work again, but I still want to live in Kenya, I still want to this, I still want to, like, if I come to you and I say I'm broke.
In which capacity? I will help you as much as I can, but I'm not going to help you to my detriment.
Okay. So would you be pushing me to say, hey, why don't you try to get back into the 9 to 5, and then if I tell you what you're saying is rubbish, my way or not, would you still after that say, okay, here you go?
No, I hope it's going to get to a point where I'll be like, okay, this 9 to 5 that you're running away from, myself, now wait till I do with this.
Exactly.
So this money that I'm giving you, or support that I'm giving you, is coming out of a 9 to 5, which is my 9 to 5. So at some point, you're either going to come to that reality, or figure out another way of,
So it's okay to support. Now, let me give you another scenario. I have friends that, they would be kind of like broke, or I know people that are kind of broke, or, money not to rush, I suppose they rush, and then they are like, on Friday nights, you're popping bottles, or you're buying new clothes. And as an adult, I can't say to you, do not buy new clothes or do not pop bottles, but me, if I have 500 naira inside my account, I feel like I have 200 naira. I'm already on the edge of my seat, like, am I about to go broke? What's going to happen? My antenna is up. I'm already thinking, how do I make it 600? Hey, help. Oh, hey, 550. He's moving down 499. Help. I get very paranoid about that. My future, like, sometimes I even feel like it's too much, and some people are like, relax. But if you tell me relax, and tomorrow you now say, sorry, can you save me with 1 naira out of that, your 500? I feel like, Oga, no near me. You get, I'm taking care of my own business. We are all adults. I'm taking care of my business. If I'm making, do you think I don't feel like drinking ice cream and do anyhow? I want to. I want to do anyhow. I want to live anyhow. But I know that if I do that, there are consequences.
True.
But if you are acting like there are no consequences, why should I be taking care of your consequence every day? You know, that's my dilemma. Like, am I too harsh? Should I continue to say, I'm here for you? Because if I say to you that, bro, why did you go to the club last week Friday and pop bottles? You look at me like, I'm 25 or I'm 36. Like, I'm not a baby. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me not to hang out with girls and buy them things. You can't tell me not to buy new curtains in my house. I wanted those curtains. So the whole 500 naira I had, I bought curtains. Live with that. Okay, fine. I don't have a problem with you doing that. But don't lean on me. Don't near me. You get, is it, am I a bad friend if I say don't lean on me just because I know your kind of decisions?
No, you're not, because you're using the information that you have to make decisions, and also you're trying to protect yourself. Because sometimes that whole YOLO lifestyle,
YOLO, you only live once.
It works for some people, but for some people, where you have responsibilities, you have kids, you have, or a kid or whatnot, you have, people in Lagos or Abuja or somewhere that asking
hello,
you to send
uncle,
them.
how are you doing today, uncle?
Send this one, send that one. So it's like, and I feel like, especially for us that are out here, there's always this expectation that people have from back home, whereby they just feel like they will just hit you up and be like, oh, I have this problem, or I have that problem,
and you save the day.
I need this, I need that. And even if you can't save the day, at least
shake body.
It's even gotten to a point where if you don't even have, at least I know you know somebody that you can borrow from to help me cure this problem. You understand what I'm saying? It's true.
Right.
To help me cure this problem. So it's like, sometimes it's just, I don't know if it's culture, I don't know if it's just enabling people, or just that understanding of knowing how bad it can be or how bad it is.
But the challenge is, you now open up social media and see the same set of people that are crying to you, bawling.
Yeah, but
going to parties.
You can't believe everything you see on social media, though.
Okay, so if I see someone that is bawling on social media and I want to hold it against them the next time they come to ask me for money, that bro, because I know that
what will be the result of that? That they will just block you, so that next time you don't see what they are posted, or what's going to happen?
No, I probably won't even say anything to them. I probably just won't give them money again. But because my mom would say that they're enjoying in Nigeria. Like, if you watch how people see, okay, say don't believe everything you see on social media, but you see someone in an Ashwebi, maybe the Ashwebi was 50 grand. They went to the tailor, even if it's 1,000 naira, I don't think so, but let's say tailor took 5K or 10K. That's 60K, this and that. But you're on the phone with this person, like, if you know how bad things are. I'm like, can't you make better decisions? I'm not trying to sound funny.
Well,
if you find yourself in a place where you are saying, things are so bad, why are you buying Ashwebi?
Sometimes it's that whole making appearances, right?
For who?
But that's what but it's just part of
our culture.
Our culture, how we are. You can't. And I think about how bad it is for some people, how bad it could be for some people. Some people just do those things because that's the only
happiness.
It's not even happiness for them to actually feel better about themselves. It's not even about
at whose expense. I should be funding your feelings.
You fund them as long as you can fund them.
I don't fund nobody.
And then you stop funding now. Because at some point, you have to actually say, okay, based on what you're seeing on social media and whatnot, like, okay, this person is not a serious individual, or they are not that they're not serious, or they have their priorities all twisted or whatnot. And sometimes it requires a conversation. Sometimes it requires you not even saying anything.
Because, like you said, they will block you and you will not see. Maybe it's because they are seeing me.
I swear, people like us that we do the two posts like that, so we like to see all those things what people are doing, because
they don't post, but they used to see everything.
We want to be entertained sometimes, so we want to see what's going on. But
okay,
so that's why I feel like it's
like, okay, are you saying I can't judge someone based off of that? Like, what if that's the little window of happiness? Like, I know some people that will say, look, that popping of bottles I went to do is just to zone out so that I don't die of depression. But I'm like, if you spend your last 500 naira to not die of depression, you are going to be depressed by Monday morning because your $500 is now, 500 naira is now gone.
Yeah.
You understand? So if at that point you now come and say, look, I need saving, how am I expected to save you?
You can only do what you can do. Are you going to kill yourself?
Okay, I think this thing is landing in one place. Do what you can do. But there are times that your friend is down. Like someone calls you from like, my child is sick. But last week you saw them doing in Ashwebi. See, if you wear what you have, look, it may look like what she's saying. I mean, Ashwebi, I've had times in my life in Nigeria and even in the US here that I've locked up. There are times in my life, I ask myself, then, everyone was getting married. I was like, do I have to buy this Ashwebi? I don't have to. I will feel weird for a couple of minutes at the party, but I learned to just and then do it. I remember when I used to like push the stroller, take my daughter to school then, and all of that. Sometimes my mom would say, it's snowing today. I say, it's snowing. Stroller cover, check. Hoodie, check. Muffler, check. AirPods, check. I walk. Take Uber. I'm saving aggressively. She was tired of me. Now, for someone else, they're like, you like suffer head, though. But if I now suffer that suffer head and come out with $20 tomorrow and say, ooh, I saved $20. Don't tell me to give you part of my $20 when you were Ubering with your own 5 and 10. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
Like, if you are deciding that you want to live life on your terms, why should I cover you?
You shouldn't have to, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you only can do what you can or are willing to do, and the rest is...
Maybe I'm worrying too much about other people.
I think you are. To be honest, I really think you are.
Because I really, because you can tell that there's I really want to be there for people.
There's that guilt.
Yes.
There's that guilt sometimes of, and I think for years I felt the same way, like when people would hit me up, friends, family.
Mention names.
I'm not mentioning names.
This is not Needles podcast.
And, I'll look at it and be like, the truth is like I feel like I'm better than anybody else, but maybe I had better opportunities or, things just worked out for me a certain way and it might not have worked out for other people that way. And I feel that guilt sometimes to say, okay, let me just extend let me just do what I can. And sometimes I won't go out of my way to even inconvenience myself sometimes. And after a while, I realized that, to be honest, most of these people don't even save. They don't even appreciate what you're doing because no matter how much you do,
let's not talk
it's
about
always about you could have done more.
Like,
why did you do this? Why didn't you do that? And you can't be for me, like, I don't like to talk too much. I'm not a talker like that. So there are certain things I will not explain. Right. I'm not gonna. I feel like I shouldn't even have to explain it to you. Like if you say, okay, I need help with this, and I say, okay, this is how much I have, or this is what I can do, blah blah blah, whatnot, and it's not good enough for you, or it didn't work out for you, fine. That's it. Let's
just all move on. No need for us to shalaye and be there and be dragging it back and forth. So I think you're correct. I feel like maybe my natural state or my natural self wants to help everybody. But then it now kind of flips into wanting to control the narrative because you feel like, hey, you can make better decisions. Like, not because all my decisions are perfect. I fear decisions in this life more than anything, But I feel like there are times when we can help each other by saying, look, I think there's a pothole in front. You want to move to the other side? You want to try to do better? You want to, make some sacrifices? I think that things will be better.
But your people. They will say, because this was $700 last week, that was
not telling me what I'm going to do.
Talk to me anyhow.
This was supposed to be another topic, but I think we can just integrate it.
Yeah, because, and you can see, like, there is that whole thing, like, especially, like, maybe I give you an example, people that you went to school with, when you went to high school, went to school with, and, they fall on hard times, and they're hitting you up for this, they need, and then we're getting into this age where you're not having friends calling you, talking about, they have diabetes, they have high blood pressure, they have, like 10 years ago with
waiting concern you with big picture. I just bought my Spig last week. Like, let's be monitoring.
Exactly. So now, like, at the older we get, you're getting to that point where your friends are calling you and talking to you about stuff, and you're not saying to what they're like, wait, how old am I again? Like, wow.
Like, why is this happening? Like, what's going on?
What's going on? Like, it's, and it's, and I'm just like,
and you're privileged. Let's not lie. Like, we are privileged. What I mean by that, not because we're balling or anything, but let's not lie. Someone who's changing one of our currency to 1,800, you can't compare that person to us. Let's not lie, bro. Like, it might not be rushing as we want it to, but you can still show some love. You can show 100,000 naira love and it won't hit you so bad here and now.
Yeah, but the 100,000 naira you're talking about, people were sending 100,000 naira this time last year. You send the same 100,000 naira. You're looking at you as if this guy.
Hey, God.
You be like, say Bob, there your head. What's I use this one do?
But nobody owes anybody anything. Like, if you, like, okay, let me even talk about marriage. Like, if you decide that you want to marry who you want to marry, by, like, I'm making this choice, you can't tell me what to do. Like, don't come crying to me. But on the flip side, let me quickly just, on the flip side, I also feel like we'll go running to God in spite of all the warnings. Like, if God can have mercy on us every time we mess up, His mercies are new every morning. That's what the Bible says. Like, why can't we? Those are the things I used to ask myself, like, calm down.
My sister, God owns the whole world.
You say own the whole world.
Me, I don't own the whole world.
Are you sure?
He mercy and my mercy, they are different. I'm telling you, no. I beg.
So you're not Lionel Messi.
No, his own mercy is different. I will do what I can based on my abilities or capabilities, because I cannot help people to the point where I'm going to be homeless. Because the people will help me. I'm telling you, if I need help now today, the people that can call for help, if I look what I don't even say
everybody they try.
Exactly. So it's like me myself, I don't want to be a nuisance to somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? So like I have to pace myself, I have to make certain decisions, I have to like, deprive myself of certain things. And sometimes, especially when you have a child, there's certain things you think about, certain things you worry about. And this whole thing you're talking about, this whole 9 to 5, I have a friend where she, for the longest time, she had that whole Abuja, Nigeria mentality, contract.
Right.
She was born here. And when she finally decided to relocate and actually start living out here, she was that opinion, like, oh, I'm never going to do a 9 to 5. Like,
hustle.
I'm going to go into development, do real estate, do this, do that.
Which is okay.
It's fine if it works out, but when you're at a point where, money is not coming in, you have papers, you have everything, and
you're still deciding
that you want to die. I'm just like, at some point, and then you call me and I'm telling you I'm working. I'm like, oh, this guy, you're always working. That's it. I'm always working, though, but I don't ask people whether they borrow me body like that. That's what I'm saying.
That is it.
Like, so it's like, it's
why
different.
Are you asking me to be? Why would that person be asking you to be there for them? Like, if you are shaming my 9 to 5, not shaming per se, but if you have a better choice to make it and own it with your full chest.
Yeah, but there are always going to be people like that. And unfortunately, there's this thing that I feel like a lot of people do. They, Oprah writes a book, or Tyler Perry writes a book, or some entrepreneur or somebody, and they say you have to believe in your dream, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. And they read the whole book, but there are a lot of chapters that they are not paying attention. They are just paying attention to that.
1 to 100.
Yes, we have to. No matter what anybody tells you, you have to hold on to your dream. If that your dream is
valid,
I don't want to do this 9 to 5, then one day it's going to happen.
Which that's not even the dream that you don't want to do. Sometimes that 9 to 5 is the means to the end. You need to work the 9 to 5 to even save money to even get to that end. Sometimes.
True, but in their mind, or what they are focusing on, is that as long as I believe,
I'm not working for nobody.
Because all the other people that work for people, they are all idiots.
Oh, okay.
you know.
Congratulations.
And at some point, no, but you have to think about it. At some point, this is not where we are now. Like our parents, they're in that generation where they could work for one organization or company for 30 years, 40 years. They came out, they got their pension and all that stuff. Everything was soft. Peasy. Everything was nice. Like the way we think, the way we do things, you get a job now, you're there for 1 year. Maybe let's just say they're paying 100K. And you figure out, this other company is paying 120. For you to get that, this thing, if you ask when annual review comes, and you ask your boss, like, how far? It's like 3%. So this 3% of this 100K, that's so that 103. That's what you saw do. Where the same person, I even guess as far as that person is making 120.
And then no loyalty, no, people are not even chilling to see the process. But that's how people grow, right?
That's how you grow your income, because when you move to that company, you're paying 120. Whether anything happened, as bad as it's bad, it's okay. You did layoffs. The next company you are going to work for, you make sure at least when you enter, you're entering at 120.
Okay.
At minimum, right? Because that's what you're making before. Yeah. And that's like how
you progress.
You progress and build your income. Whereby back then there was a lot more loyalty to is it a brand or a company and stuff.
You're working in 7-Up, and then my dad worked in Unilever for 30 years, that's what you used to hear then. But not anymore.
No, you can't. You're not going to progress. You just can't do that. Even though there are still certain, I won't say in healthcare per se, but when you get into the higher, when you get in careers, when you get to a certain higher level of management, like it might work. But with the culture now, even CEOs, like all these big CEOs, all these Fortune 500 companies, like you see how they have their terms, they move from one company to another.
Yeah, even they like buy assets here, do that, and then move.
Sit on this board, move here, move there. So like, today, if you get out of school and you say you want to work for one company for the rest of your life, if nobody your papa company,
they play. The company
even if that your papa company, if you get as a good business, they will drive you. So you just have to use sense.
Anybody can chase you anytime. So
exactly.
So, but that's to say that it's nice to want to be your own boss, to own your own thing, have your own legacy, and all of that. But should you carry the means to everyday?
When you say it's nice to be your own boss, let me. I know you can relate to this. When you say it's nice to be your own boss, can you compare living in an apartment and then living in a home, like a house, where the apartment, concern you who they do trim the grass, all these problems.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Trash day out.
All that are no concern you. But when you actually live in a house, okay, you have to worry about, if you're the HOA, your yard has to look this way, you have to follow this, you have to follow that rule. You have to start wondering about, if you are is your home that you are buying, if anything busts after the warranty, you have to pay for this. That. When you're living in an apartment, flood insurance is not even anything what is flood insurance?
So most people don't even calculate all of that.
Exactly.
When you're listening to make it to, the person who is telling you that has probably, like you said, has written it in the book, but you chose to see that, he didn't work 9 to 5 and look at now, Fortune 500 company. Let's go there. You just want to go from the middle ground where it suffer. So if you're not thinking HOA, thinking this, thinking that, and you make that move, well, reality check.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, you're like, I live here, I'm paying 1K a month. If I get a mortgage, 1,200, you're not worried about you're not really thinking about, property taxes. You're not thinking about your, HOA. You're not thinking about this insurance, that insurance.
The cost of being an entrepreneur or being a CEO. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, because you're thinking about it as an employee. There's nothing concern you about insurance. You just don't say that they give you that insurance. Exactly.
If the building burns.
But when you are now being your own, and that's the thing, a lot of people, because I've seen, people around me that, started their own businesses and did things, and they work. People might not see, they might not know. But
you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like...
They work hard because you have to build your business to a point where even if it's something you're going to leave for other people to run, you have to build it to that point. It's not just going to just happen right away. But people just believe that,
it's more work.
You will just see, Jeff Bezos, like, the guy don't hammer.
See his shoes. Look at him.
Like it wasn't in one day now.
The guy has cried. He has been through hell and high water. So when you are thinking you want to follow that path, it only makes sense for you to count the cost. Now, you might not see it all because there will be nights when you're like, is this really for me? You want to pull out your hair and all of that.
As a matter of fact, if you don't have those nights, you're pretty much just doing money laundry. Because anybody that is running any business that's actually a legit business,
that's not crying.
You are going to have, it's never going to be a smooth ride. Like, it's going to, because you're going to have ups and downs.
Right.
Especially in the beginning. So it's not something that you just say, oh, I knew this, I'm doing that. Like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
It doesn't.
So I think we've trashed out this whole, 95, no 95 decision and all that. But I really like the example that you gave about someone who's adamant, like she has opportunities to, come back and settle into, every day. But if she now blows tomorrow, won't you feel like, oh, okay, that was nice? But in between, you felt somehow doling out money to her, like, like, auntie, come and sit down with the rest of us and do 95. Some people will tell you, no, I believe what I believe. And then eventually they get there.
Yeah.
Like that babe can be there and blow. Blow past you and I 10 times put together,
It is very possible. But
do you think you feel guilty at that point and say, maybe I should have just, been a little more supportive? If you were saying, come back and sit down in our 9 to 5, it's almost like saying, do the normal things so that you can have a normal, like if you did not have ₦1 billion in your account when you were moving back to say you wanted to jump into the middle of nowhere, you didn't factor in your rent, your mobility, your whatever, your fees, your money to rub hands to be able to get the contract, you didn't factor in all of that. Who were you thinking would save you? Like, or when you date goofballs, or you invest, they are doing this money is put it there, B comes in back. You want to live recklessly. You wanna be anyhow, do anyhow. YOLO, hey, Friday night, let's go. Everybody's flying to Cancun. Can we? Let's go. They're going to Jammo. Yeah. You want to go to Dubai. You want to show that. And really, maybe you just like to enjoy yourself. Not saying you should not enjoy yourself. Not saying anybody should not this, but sometimes it just does my head in when I have to, maybe it's jealousy. Maybe I'm just jealous. Because I'm like, life na jeje, 1 + 1 is 2. Okay, we have 2 + 1 is 3. Don't touch it. Let it be 4 now, 4.5. I'm careful. But I'm like, you're enjoying life. So when you now come, like that person too is probably like, you're always working. You're like, now me be Jackie. Now me be working. You meet me when you come and ask me for.
But there's like, I feel like there's a.
Do you think it's jealousy?
There's like a thin line between, jealousy. No, I'm serious.
Admit it.
No, there's a thing like, I'm looking for the other word I'm trying to say. Like I just said it.
And reality check, or is that's not the word?
Or how did they say it? So people say it's envy.
So we are envying the people that are chopping life anyhow.
Envy is another form of compliment. It's like it's because it's weird because like an example, like you say like that, my friend, like when she hammers or whatever, that's her feeling. Oh, maybe I should have bought more into her dream and blah blah blah. First of all, if we're friends, at some point I have to believe in you. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
So it's not the part of saying you don't believe in the person. You might not see their vision. Okay. You might not agree with their methods.
So let me just ask her, do you believe that move to leave you got all the numbers, you have all the advantage here, you don't want to do night? I'm asking you now, like, let your friend watch. Do you believe, it's a yes or no answer. Okay. Do you believe in that move to go back home and establish yourself in some place in Nigeria and do contracts and make money as a CEO, entrepreneur, business, a hustler? Do you believe in it?
Yeah, I believe in it. I know people that are killing it in Nigeria, no matter how bad It is. People are killing it.
So does that go down anytime when, for instance, you got to support her? Do you feel, because you said earlier about, you know what, you got everything, come back here and she normal, be normal, do you feel at any point in time like, I believe you and I believe you and I believe you, so when I got to support you, I still believe you, everything falls under I believe you? Or do you ever feel like, auntie, this decision that you've made is not, who will pay your bill, who will give you money?
The thing about Nigeria is that as Nigeria would disappoint you, Nigeria is probably the only place
where you can make them
that you can be nothing yesterday
and be something
today.
Can be everything.
Your cousin, your uncle, person just see appointment and you're done better. You're gone.
That's true. I know someone that just got an appointment. I'm coming.
That's
for
it.
you.
You're gone.
Right.
So no matter how bad it's bad, there's always that promise in Nigeria that your life can change. Believe it, because I can guarantee you, she has other people, other friends that
she can
made that
examples
that made that move, and they are doing very well.
Okay, then they should take care of her because it's a journey. It's being CEO, being whatever is a journey, and honestly, we all need that support. Did you enjoy watching that episode? I am sure that you did. Do not forget to subscribe by clicking on the button below, and of course, share on your various social media pages. Share with everyone because everybody needs to know about Gray and Angles.